Hello students, so we are going to start the fresh topic, that is center of mass of two particle system. As we have already done the numericals of this particular topic, that is RCM, that will be equivalent to M1R1 plus M2R2 divided by M1 plus M2. So instead of, if we talk about the center of mass of x coordinate, so here the center of mass of x coordinate, this is the r coordinate, that will be equivalent to x and y, that is r is equivalent to x I cap plus y j cap. So for x center of mass, it will be equivalent to m1 x1 vector plus m2 x2 vector divided by m1 plus m2. Okay student, similarly if we talk about y center of mass, then it will be equivalent to m1 y1 plus m2 y2 divided by m1 plus m2. Okay, if we talk about, like, if m1 is equivalent to m2 and it is equivalent to m, then RCM will be equivalent to m1 means mr1 plus mr2 divided by m plus m2m. It means we are left with only r1 plus r2 divided by 2. Then center of mass will be equivalent to r1 plus r2 vector divided by 2. So now let us discuss the derivation also of this particular topic. Now let us assume there are some internal forces between these two masses. So here F12 is the force which acts on this particular particle due to this. Similarly, there is one force, that is F21. Okay. So here is the external forces, we can say F1 external and F2 external. These are the two forces. It may be of any type, like wind, or we can say extra efforts given by us. Okay, these are the external forces. So now the formula for this particular structure, this particular diagram, now the velocity and acceleration vector of two particles are v1 vector, that will be equivalent to dr1 vector by dt, and v2 vector, that will be equivalent to dr2 vector by dt. Okay, similarly if we want to calculate the value of acceleration, acceleration is differentiate of velocity dv1 by dt, or we can say d square r1 divided by dt square. Similarly for v2 vector, for a2 vector, or we can say dv2 vector divided by dt, this will be equivalent to d square r2 by dt square, or simply we can also write this as r double dot, r2 double dot. 2 dot means 1 dot is for velocity and 2 dot is for acceleration. Okay, now the total force acting on this particular particle, total force acting on particle P1 is equal to sum of internal forces F21 vector due to P2 and F1 external. Okay, this is the internal force, like total force acting on particle P1, this particular particle, is the sum of internal force, this internal force F12, and external force F1 externals on it. So F1, that will be equivalent to particle P1, or we can say F1, this force is equivalent to F1, that will be equal to F12 vector plus F1 external. Similarly for particle number 2, for this particle P2, we can say force is F2, that will be equivalent to F21 vector plus F2 external. Okay, so according to Newton's second law of motion, NSLO में mass m1 a1 this force will be equivalent to mass into acceleration. So m1 a1, that will be equivalent to f1 vector, which is equivalent to f12 vector plus f1 external. Similarly, m2 a2 vector, that will be equivalent to f2 vector, that is equivalent to f21 vector plus f2 external. Okay, so according to third law of motion, f12 vector is equal to minus of f21. To every action there is equivalent opposite action. Okay, so it means f12 plus f21 vector, that will be equivalent to 0. Mark this as equation number 1 and equation number 2. If we add equation 1 and 2, we will get m1 a1 plus m2 a2, that will be equivalent to f1 plus f2 vector, which is equivalent to f12 plus f21. They will cancel out, so we are left with f1 external plus f2 external. Okay, f1 external and f2 external. This f1 external and f2 external is the total force. Okay, so F, which is equivalent to f1 external plus f2 external, or we can say f1 plus f2 vector. This will be equivalent to total mass into acceleration, that is center of mass. So this mass into acceleration of center of mass, that will be equivalent to m1 a1 plus m2 a2 vector. So this will be equivalent to m1 d square r1 by dt square plus m2 d square r2 by dt square. As we have already discussed in this term, a1 is equivalent to d square r by dt square, a2 is d square r by dt square, a1 is d square r by dt square, a2 is d square r2 by dt square. Okay, so acceleration of center of mass will be equivalent to m1 d square r1 by dt square, or we can say 1 by m plus m2 d square r2 by dt square. Okay, so acceleration is d square r divided by dt square, that will be equivalent to d square r1, d square by dt square we take as common. We are left with m1 r1 plus m2 r2, and capital M will be equivalent to m1 plus m2. So it means on comparing these two equations, d square by dt square, d square by dt square, so the value of r is equivalent to m1 r1 plus m2 r2 divided by m1 plus m2. This is a very simple equation. So here we get the position vector, that is r, that is r center of mass, that will be equivalent to m1 r1 plus m2 r2 divided by m1 plus m2. Similarly, for n particle system, for n particle system, this r center of mass will be equivalent to m1 r1 plus m2 r2 plus so on mn rn divided by m1 plus m2 plus m3 so on mn. Got my point? So student, in case of body with continuous mass distribution, we replace this summation mx, like if we talk about x center of mass, okay, that will be equivalent to m1 x1 plus m2 x2 so on mn xn divided by m1 plus m2 plus so on mn. This we can write in terms of summation mx divided by total mass capital M. So for continuous mass distribution, we replace this summation by the term, this integral x dx. Okay, similarly for summation m y, it will be equivalent to y dm, and similarly for summation m z, integral m z dm. So x center of mass for this particular case will be equivalent to 1 upon m time as we know, this formula is 1 upon m times summation mx. In place of summation we use the term integral x dm. Similarly, for y center of mass, 1 by m as taken as common, and in terms of summation we take integral y dm. Similarly, for z center of mass, that will be equivalent to 1 upon m integral z dm. Okay. Next is momentum conservation. Momentum conservation and center of mass motion. Okay. So as we know, F total vector, that will be equivalent to mass into acceleration, that is center of mass. In the absence of external force, F external is, or we can say F total is equivalent to 0 in the absence of external force. Okay, it means m times a center of mass, that will be equivalent to 0. Okay, as force is equal to mass into acceleration, so a center of mass will be equivalent to 0. As we know, acceleration is dv by dt, v center of mass by dt is equivalent to 0. If differentiate of velocity is 0, it means velocity is constant, then only it is equivalent to 0. Okay, so this particular term, that is v center of mass, is equal to constant. It means in the absence of external force, the center of mass of system moves with uniform velocity. This is called the Newton's first law of motion. Okay, this is called the Newton's first law of motion. Okay, again I repeat, in the absence of external force, the particle moves with constant velocity. This we have done in Newton's first law of motion. That's why it is also called the Newton's first law of motion. Okay, students. So the position vector can also be written as position vector of center of mass at any instant can be written as r center of mass at any instant t. That will be equivalent to r center of mass 0 plus velocity center of mass into t. This velocity into time is again displacement. So this is the equation which we can also write in terms of position vector at any instant t. Okay, now similarly, if we want to prove momentum conservation and center of mass motion, so again in the absence of external force, as we know, it is equivalent to 0. It means F1 plus F2 plus so on Fn, that all forces are equivalent to 0, or we can say M1 A1 plus M2 A2 plus so on Mn An will be equivalent to 0, or we can say M1 d by dt into V1. As we know, acceleration is dv by dt, so I take this term as constant, common, dv by dt, M2 V2 plus so on Mn Vn, which will be equivalent to 0. So differentiate of this particular term is 0. It means this is possible only when this term is constant. It means m1 v1 plus m2 v2 plus so on mn vn is constant, then only the above term will be equivalent to, differentiate of above term will be equivalent to 0. Or we can say p1 plus p2 plus p3, mv is momentum, so on pn, it will be equivalent to p. Okay, student, this is the total momentum. Got my point? Now student, the position vector of center of mass of n particle system. For n particle system, the position vector is r center of mass, that will be equivalent to m1 r1 plus m2 r2 plus so on mn rn divided by m1 plus m2 plus so on mn. Okay, so r center of mass will be equivalent to, again this term is, we can say 1 upon m m1 r1 plus m2 r2 plus so on mn rn. Okay, differentiate above equation, we will get d r center of mass by dt, that will be equivalent to 1 upon m m1 dr1 by dt plus so on mn drn by dt. So velocity center of mass will be equivalent to 1 upon m time this all term m1 v1 plus m2 v2 plus so on mn vn. This is p1 plus p2 so on pn, or we can say momentum p. So p is equivalent to, p vector is equivalent to mass time velocity of center of mass. Okay student, this equation shows that the total momentum of a system of particle is equivalent to product of total mass of the system and velocity, which velocity, that is center of mass, velocity in terms of center of mass. So now we will discuss some important numericals related to this. Now there is one NCERT question, like this is the L shape, this is L shape. Okay student, so this point is, we can say C1, C2 and C3. So this is 2 meter, or we can say this is again 0 0, this is 2 0, this is 1 0, 1 1, 1 2 1, this is 0 1, 0 2, 1 2. Okay, so we have to calculate the value of center of mass. The mass of this lamina is 3 kg. Okay, so now for this particular block, I can separate this block, separately draw this block. So this is 0 0, 1 0, 1 1 and 0 1. Okay, so for this particular system, 0 1, 0 2 1, so center of mass for x coordinate is 0.5. Okay, 0.5. This is for x system, and similarly for y system, again this is 0.5. So center of mass for this particular system, we can say for C1, for x and y, this is 0.5 and 0.5. Similarly for this particular system, for block 2 C2, this is 1 0 and 2 0, 2 1 and 1 1. So center of mass of this particular system is 1 to 2, that is 1.5. For x center of mass 1.5, and this for this 0 to 1, 0 to 1 is 0.5. So 0.5. This is for C2. Similarly for C3, this is 0 1, 0 2, 1 1 and 1 2. So 0 to 1, center of mass is 0.5. For x system 0.5. For y system 1 to 2, 1 to 2 means 1.5, center of mass is 1.5. Now for x center of mass, that will be equivalent to m1 x1 plus m2 x2 plus m3 x3, as there are three blocks, divided by total mass m1 plus m2 plus m3. So we will get this result as, if the mass of these three lamina is 3 kg, it means we distribute the mass equally 1 1 1. So m1 is equal to 1, m2 is equivalent to 1 and m3 is equivalent to 1. If the mass of each lamina is same, it means the total mass is 3 kg. It is given in the question. So m1 is 1, x1 is 0.5, m2 is 1, x2 is 1.5, m3 is 1, x2 is 0.5, divided by total mass 3. Okay, so on solving this particular equation, we will get 5 by 6 meter. That is x center of mass. Similarly for y center of mass, the terms are same, 0.5, 0.5, 1.5, here is 1.5, 0.5 and 0.5. So result will remain same, that is 5 by 6 meter. Okay student, This is the center of mass of this particular diagram. So student, how to calculate the center of mass of this particular rod having length L? Suppose the rod is placed along x-axis with its left end at the origin O. Okay, consider a small element of thickness dx at a distance x from O. Okay, so now the mass of this particular small element, this will be equivalent to capital M total mass divided by total length into small displacement. So this is how we can calculate the value of mass of this small element dm. Total mass divided by total length, we can say this is the unitary method, or we can say this is the unitary method. Total mass divided by total length into chota sa displacement, that is dx. So the center of mass formula, x center of mass will be equivalent to 1 upon m. For uniform mass, we already discussed that we use the term integral x dm. Okay, 1 upon m integral x, that dm, this dm will be equivalent to capital M divided by L into dx. This rod is from 0 to L, so 1 upon m, mm will cut 1 upon L integral of x dx from 0 to L. So this will become 1 upon L, x is x square by 2. So on putting the limits, we will get L square by 2. This L and L square will cut, so we will get the final result, that is L by 2. This is one of the simpler example. Okay student.